Well, we're back in the kitchen again, and we're going to be making a dessert for some friends coming over tomorrow night. And it's called tiramisu. It's an Italian dessert. And so what I want to get started is tell you what we need. We'll need some wine. Marsala wine is suitable for this. Also, pure vanilla. We'll have to dust it with Hershey's cocoa. You can use the dark or the milk chocolate dusting. You'll need to get some mascarpone cheese. Leave it at room temperature. And I had a hard time finding ladyfingers today. The certain kind that came in the recipe, not in the town anywhere. So I did find these at Kroger's. I think we're good to go. And then you're going to need a cup and a half of real cream. And we're going to whip that in just a minute. But you will need espresso coffee for this dessert. That's what makes it, it's a coffee, Italian, smelling wonderful right now in the house. I found this Cafe Bustelo, and it is espresso, because I don't have an espresso machine. I don't drink that kind of coffee. So I have a friend coming over, and she loves tiramisu. So I'm going to give it a whirl so we can give it a taste. So what I have done is brewed a cup of, or actually it's like a cup and a half of coffee, which has to be espresso. And what you do is go ahead and brew it and then set it out and let it cool. It's got to be cold. Mascarpone cheese has to be room temperature before you add it to the heavy whipping cream. So to get started, I'm going to put the heavy whipping cream in my mixer, which is going to be the KitchenAid stand mixer. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that on medium, and I'm going to it's got to have soft peaks, okay? So I'll be right back in a couple minutes. Okay, we're back, and we're just adding the rest of our heavy whipping cream. You can get heavy whipping cream right by the milk in any grocery store. And it takes about 2 to 3 minutes to get it to a heavy peak. So it says to add your sugar and vanilla slowly. And the reason why you want to do that is because you don't want to break your peaks. Okay, so add a little bit of sugar. Going to add a little, and you have to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and get pure vanilla extract. Vanilla extract is very expensive. Things are very expensive at the store, but I was noticing how expensive vanilla has gone up. I have some in the cupboard, but it's dated, so I thought, well, I'll buy one. So I bought this little one, but I actually think I'm going to order a Watkins one. It's like $10 a bottle. It's a small bottle, but it smells wonderful. It goes in a lot of baked goods, because Christmas is coming, Thanksgiving is coming, you'll be using it for cookies and different things, recipes. So I added a teaspoon of vanilla, pure vanilla extract, okay? And then you just keep it going. If you have a KitchenAid, this is going to be great for you. If you have a hand mixer, then you're just going to have to hold it, with your hand. But you can use both. But just take your time adding the sugar and vanilla, because you don't want to lose your peaks. What I mean by peaks is it comes in a milk form, and then it's going to be whipped until you see like peaks, like on a mountain. Okay, so a little bit more we're going. Then after this step is finished, we're going to add the mascarpone cheese with the heavy whipping cream, and that is going to be our base for our lady fingers. While I'm doing this, our coffee that we brewed right here is cooling. You know how quickly a cup of coffee will cool. Within 5 minutes, your coffee is, you gotta go to the microwave and heat it up if you're drinking it. But the house smells heavenly with the espresso and the vanilla. There, got the rest of my sugar in. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the mascarpone cheese. Now this is cheese that they use for a lot of different desserts for an Italian in Italy. And you're just going to add it slowly. And it's a thick cheese. And you can put it in so many of their desserts. So just a spoon at a time. Took a spoon to see how thick it is. We're just going to take another spoon and then back it off into the container. And you need 8 ounces of this mascarpone. How many's had a really good cannoli, handmade? This is how you would do the cannoli. So you can do chocolate chip or nuts or cannoli. That's an Italian rolled cookie that you fill. I'll make those sometime, but those are very good with coffee. So this is going to thicken it up. You want to not add it too fast, because what will happen is it will break and then you won't get your peaks. Okay? It's going to make it very yummy. This is a coffee dessert. This is what this is. These little containers, they come 8 ounces, so you know exactly how much to use. Now the lady fingers, at Como store, 1 package, but since this was a small package, I got 2. Okay, because I'm going to layer them in this glass, and there's not this dessert, you do not cook or bake. Basically, once your cheese is made, and once you dip your lady fingers, you work rather quickly, and then it just has to set. So I'm off at 10 o'clock at night making this because I'm going to be serving this tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 for dinner. So it has to sit in the refrigerator for probably no less than 6 hours. 6 to 8 hours is very good. So overnight, this is going to be the menu or the items that you see here will have a chance to mingle and that all the flavors will come together. When you make tiramisu, it's important that you give it time, because if you just make it and then you have to slice and serve it, it will not taste as good as it would if you let it set. Okay, it needs to set up. Okay, so I'm going to add the rest of my mascarpone. Okay, very good. Okay, I'm just going to let this mix and I'll be right back. Okay guys, we're back and we have our filling ready to go. Should look like this. And you got to be careful. I had to fold in the mascarpone cheese because when you're working with whipping cream, you have to add things very slowly because you'll break it, and once you break it, you got to start over. So basically, this is what you want, okay? This is what's going to hold up, and when you put it in your refrigerator, it will mingle with that, and kind of the 6 hours to 6 to 8 hours it has to be in the fridge, it will kind of set up even more. So now we have our coffee, which is cooled, and I have purchased the masala wine. So I am going to put in 3 tablespoons. You can use rum, you can use Kahlua, which is coffee liqueur, which all it does is enhance the espresso. Remember, this is a coffee dessert. So basically, there you are. And what I thought I would do is I'm going to put a little bit of the base in the bottom of my, well, I'm using a bread maker here. I make banana bread, and this is a glass container that I'm using. So I'm going to put a layer in, because you are making layers, okay? And it resembles cream cheese. And so I'm going to take, now I've got the soft lady fingers. If you buy the regular kind, which I couldn't find anywhere, okay? But I'm going to brush these with the coffee, just because I don't want them to be overly moist. You want them wet, but you don't want them to be, so I'm going to go ahead and brush them. Then I'm going to lay them in. It says that you can dip these. So let me just try one. But it says to do it quickly. So let's try in and out. And see, that's a little bit too wet for me. I think because these are the softer cookie, ladyfinger cookie, I'm going to just kind of pat it on. And if you can find the harder cookie, even with the hard cookies though, you cannot soak them. You cannot. You can just put what you're doing is putting the coffee in the wine or the rum, okay, onto your finger cookie. So it has that flavor. Remember, this is a coffee dessert. Okay, so we're just going to keep layering. It says you can use an 8x8 glass pan. Mine was an 8x12, so I changed it up and I thought, well, this will work. And a lot of times when you buy tiramisu, they are shaped like this and they're long, and then you just cut it like small pieces of cake. So I'm going to finish this. I've got my first layer in. Okay. And yeah, see, dipping it with this soft of a cookie is probably, you can go back and add, okay? But you're going to have quite a bit of coffee left over. This is just a flavor, okay? You don't want to break your cheese. So basically I'm going to add another layer of the heavy whipping cream and the mascarpone. So we'll see what we got. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and the coffee is espresso. How many of you like espresso out there? A lot of people like strong. And it also says you can, if you can't find your espresso, because you know when you go to the store now, you have to kind of get what they have, so, or use what you can get. You can use a very strong coffee, a dark flavored coffee. So I'm going to continue with this. And put my next layer on. I don't know, I've got 2 packages here, so we'll just see how far we can go with this. And if I have enough left over, maybe I can make another small container of tiramisu. So I'm going to keep layering. Okay. They do have different varieties of lady fingers, okay, cookies. And some of them are a little bit harder, and I think that's kind of what this recipe is calling for, because once you dip them, you want them to stay somewhat firm. You don't want it, you know. So I'm going to go ahead with another layer of my cheese mixture. I think I can go another layer. I think it's tall enough. And then at the very top, I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to put that Hershey's cocoa. You can get Hershey's cocoa in the dark chocolate as well. Okay, so there would be my, you kind of can see it through the side here. So that's 2 layers of cookies. I think I can get one more layer on. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this, and I'll bring you back in just a few minutes. Okay, we're back, y'all, and here's what we have. And it's really pretty. We put 2 layers of the finger cookies. You can really use any finger cookies that you find. It's just that you don't want to wet them too much. If you over wet them, they're just going to fall apart, and then it's going to ruin your cheese mixture. So we're topped it off. Now what we have to do to finish this dessert, and I got to tell you, this cheese is absolutely phenomenal taste. So I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of the cocoa, the dusting powder, okay, in my hand. And I'm just going to, it says a generous amount, so let's do it together, and you can see me just pour it over. Okay, because you're giving it that chocolatey, and there it is, it's done, basically, where that's it. I know you're going to love it. It's going to taste yummy. Your guests are going to really love it. Now, if you have the little hand one, you can just kind of shake it over the top. I didn't have that, so I just used my sifter, which works as well. So we're done. Now, this has to set in the fridge. Like I said, overnight's best. 24 hours is the best. But do not serve this any less than 6 hours. I will put it in the bottom caption, all the directions. But I hope you try tiramisu and let me know if you like it. Give me a thumbs up, or give me a like if you you like it. So give it a try. Now we're going to do a little taste test. Okay, so I'm going to get some. I got one of my cookies here, so I don't want to cut mine. And I'm going to give it a taste. Very good. The fingers are spongy, like a sponge cake. Ladyfinger. You do taste the whipped cream, and the mascarpone gives it a different taste. And I think you're going to like this cheese. I think, let me know in the comments if you'd like me to make some homemade cannolis. Cannolis are easy. You use this kind of cheese, and you just fill them. And that would probably even be a little easier than this one. But I think you'll like it. Make yourself a cup of coffee. For all you coffee lovers out there, you're going to love the tiramisu. So, okay, I'm going to end it on this, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Switch page. Switch page.